So before we get into today's video, I do want to give a huge shout out to today's sponsor of the video, which is Ritual. I've talked about Ritual on my channel multiple times. I've been using their products for such a long time. I took their prenatals pretty much my entire pregnancy, and I am currently taking their postnatal vitamins. So I'm super excited to share with you guys their brand new product. This is the brand new Ritual Essential Daily Protein for pregnancy and postpartum. It contains all 9 essential amino acids and essential choline to help support women's increased dietary demands during pregnancy and lactation. Contains 20 grams of vegan pea protein. It helps maintain muscle and support bone health. And like all Ritual products, their brand new protein is also soy-free, sugar-free, gluten-free, vegan-friendly, and formulated with non-GMO ingredients. I am officially almost 2 months postpartum, so I definitely want to start taking better care of myself, taking better care of my body. So protein shakes have been super helpful at keeping me full, because I'm telling you guys, some days I don't even have time to sit down and have a meal. So during the day, if I don't have time, I will literally just have myself a little protein shake. So definitely go ahead and check them out, you guys. I will have a link down below, and Ritual's going to be giving you guys 10% off of your first 3 months. So make sure you guys go ahead and take advantage of that. All you have to do is go to ritual.com/Lizeth Ramirez and use my code Lizeth Ramirez at checkout. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into the video. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm finally bringing you guys my postpartum video and letting you guys in on all the tea about postpartum. I did ask you guys to send in your questions on Instagram, so I'm gonna be answering all of your guys' questions, showing you guys my body. I've been taking pictures, so you guys will definitely get to see all of the nitty-gritty and stuff. I'm not going to be holding back. There's a lot of very TMI questions, so hopefully there's no guys watching this. So the first question is, how long was your labor and delivery? I'm not really sure how long my labor and delivery was. We did go to the hospital 3 times before they ended up keeping us. I think the first time I was not in active labor yet, and then the second time I think I was in active labor, but they still decided to send me home. It really just depends on your hospital what they consider active labor, but I would say I was like an active labor for like a whole day, and then they finally decided to keep us. But when they decided to keep us, you guys, I was like damn near ready to push. Like, she came out super quickly. Like, we weren't at the hospital for long before she made her appearance. I'm not too sure how long my labor was. I'm not sure when it would be considered that my labor started, but my actual delivery was super quick, you guys. Like, I literally only pushed for maybe 3 minutes and she came out. Like, I consider myself super lucky, because a nurse told me that for the average pushing time for a first-time mom is like 2 hours. So I consider myself really lucky. I really do like to think that God gave me a really quick delivery, because my pregnancy was so bad that he was like, if I give her a bad pregnancy and a bad delivery, she's never gonna want to have another kid. How long did you bleed after birth? So I am officially almost 9 weeks postpartum, so almost 2 months postpartum, and I bled for quite a long time. I think at the 6-week mark I had like officially I thought I had officially stopped bleeding. Like, I was like pretty much just spotting, and then at like 7 weeks I started bleeding quite a lot again, and it was pretty heavy. And this week it's been like kind of on and off. Like, I've just had a little tiny bit of spotting, and then like the past few days I had like no bleeding, no spotting, no nothing, and then today I had like a little bit of spotting. I'm not really bleeding anymore. I'm just having a little bit of spotting, and everyone is so different. But it was really only those first like 2 weeks that I was bleeding like heavy, like hardcore. Like, I was wearing those humongous pads because I was bleeding so much. Do you still feel pain? So I'm assuming that you mean like down there, and I still don't feel like 100% like myself. I feel like I'm slowly, barely starting to feel a little bit like myself. Down there, like, the best way that I could really describe like the pain to you was, I just kind of felt sore. Like, after most of the pain, like actual pain was gone, like I still felt kind of weird down there. Like, I wasn't having crazy pain, but I just still felt kind of weird. Like, whenever I would go pee, like, it almost felt like it would get super tight down there. But the best like feeling that I could describe to you, it almost felt like I was like bruised down there. And like, even now when I go pee, like, it still hurts a little tiny bit, but it doesn't like hurt. It just feels like like kind of like I have like a bruise down there, but it's definitely going away, and it's definitely not as bad as it was in the beginning whatsoever. Like I'm definitely starting to feel a little bit more like myself, like slowly but surely. How many stitches did you get and where? Did you look at your kitty after birth? Yes, I did look down there after birth. I like took a little Snapchat video because I wanted to see what I looked like, because the doctor told me that my stitches were not that bad. I did get stitches. They definitely weren't too bad. They were painful though, so I can't imagine like if I had like a degree, like I didn't tear it to like a certain degree, but I definitely did get stitches. But she said, once again, she said that it wasn't bad. But I did take a video because I wanted to see where my stitches were at. Like I was terrified. Like even though she said that they weren't bad, like I was terrified. Like I didn't know if my stitches were like on my actual kitty or like if they were on my butthole. Like I didn't know if it was from my hole to my other hole. Like I just wanted to see what it looked like. But even when I took the video, I couldn't really tell where my stitches were because everything was super swollen down there, and I was scared to touch. Like I wanted to touch and like see where they were at, but I was scared. But I did look after birth, and it didn't look like super crazy. It just looked like swollen, and it was bloody. It was very, very bloody. Hey girl, I'm due any minute. What was the hardest part of postpartum? So I would say the hardest like physical part of postpartum was just honestly just those first 2 weeks are pretty brutal, just because you're bleeding so much, and honestly you are in pain. Like everything just feels swollen down there. Like your kitty just feels huge. Like you're just profusely bleeding. And then also that first like week, everyone wants to come over, and then that first week you have all these doctor's appointments and stuff. So I feel like that was just the first 2 weeks. I feel like were definitely the hardest, but the hardest part I would say is just the bleeding. Like you're just bleeding, like profusely bleeding. Like it's a lot. What's worse, peeing or showering after birth? Have you started your period yet? I have not started my period yet. That's one of the questions that I forgot to ask my doctor at my 6-week appointment, is when I'm gonna start my period. So I guess I'm just kind of waiting to see. I feel like I'm pretty much done bleeding like from birth, so probably the next time I start bleeding, I think it'll be my period. So I'm not too sure yet. I don't think I have started my period yet though. And then showering after birth, to me, like I felt good. Like it didn't feel like it didn't hurt or anything. Like it felt good. Like washing like all the blood away. It felt good. Like just getting yourself clean, you know? And then peeing, it was bad. It was bad, but it wasn't as bad as I expected. It definitely just burned. The first time that I peed, it didn't hurt me too bad at all because the nurse let me use like the little peri bottle. So I was like squirting water down there while I was peeing. But the second time, the other nurse didn't let me use it because she said they had to measure my pee, and then that time it did burn, but it wasn't like too horrible. How long did it take for everything to feel normal down there? I'm 3 weeks postpartum and it still burns. So once again, I feel like everyone is so different, you guys. I think the first 2 weeks were like the worst for me, like burning wise and everything. After the first 2 weeks, like it didn't really burn anymore, but it still kind of hurt. And like whenever I would pee, like I just still felt like really bruised. Like everything just felt bruised down there. Did you get an epidural, and how was the experience getting it and pushing? Yes, I did get the epidural, and I have no shame in it. Like props to anyone who does not get the epidural. I don't think it makes like you better than girls that do get the epidural. I think all moms are amazing. We all had a baby. We all brought life into this world. But I'm definitely not ashamed of getting the epidural. I had a really good experience with my epidural. At one point, it did start to wear off on one side, but they just came in and gave me more. And then pushing with it was amazing because I didn't feel anything. But also with that being said, it also kind of sucks that you don't feel anything because you don't really feel the pushing. Like for me, I couldn't feel the pushing. I just like I knew I was pushing because like I was trying to push. I just couldn't feel it, you know? Like it sounds like I feel like I'm not making any sense right now, but overall the epidural was amazing for me. And then the pushing, like I couldn't feel it, but also in a way that's really good because I couldn't feel the pushing, but I couldn't feel the pain, which is good for me. Like I'm all for that. It hurt when you had to go number 2. So it did not hurt, but I was terrified of going. Like that first day that I had to go to the restroom, it was the day I gave birth. It was like at night, and I remember I had to go so bad, and I just kept telling him, I'm like, oh my god, I have to poop, but I'm scared. Like I have to go so bad. Like I was grabbing my back because I had to go so bad, but I was scared. Calling the nurse, and I was like, how do I poop? And they're like, what do you mean, how do you poop? Like from your butt like how you usually do. I'm like, well, like what if my stitches are back there? Like I don't know where my stitches are. They're like, you just need to try like to poop, just don't push too hard. So I went like, and I just tried to kind of be cautious with it, but the poop was fine. I think it was mainly in my head, like I was just terrified to go for the first time because I didn't know where my stitches were at, but it actually didn't hurt at all. How long did it take for stitches to heal? Timeline. I think my stitches, like I feel like I stopped like really feeling pain there like around 3 weeks, I want to say. Is when I feel like my stitches like started to dissolve. Like in the beginning, you guys, like those first 2 weeks were pretty brutal because at one point I even thought my stitches like had opened up because I was just bleeding so much and I was in so much pain. When I went to go shower, like I was really trying to look down there because I was like, oh my god, I think my stitches like opened up. Like just like it looked weird, like there was just a lot of blood. But I do want to say like around like 3 weeks is when I feel like my stitches started to dissolve. I started to feel a little bit less pain at that point. Another question I'm getting a lot is if I waited the 6 weeks to you know what. Were you scared to you know what for the first time after baby? I'm 7 weeks postpartum and I'm terrified. Girl, I feel you because I was terrified. Like I was so scared. Like I was like, dude, I think I'm gonna wait a whole year to even do anything. Like I just had, but then I would think like, okay, I just had this big thing come out of me. I just had a whole human come out of me. Like I could handle that. But like just the thought of something going inside of me again was so scary. I personally did wait the 6 weeks. Like I thought I would wait even longer, to be honest, but I did wait for sure the 6 weeks. Like I was not gonna risk to get any type of infection. Like I was like honestly still kind of in a little bit of pain. Even now when I go pee sometimes, like it still feels a little bit weird. It just, I'm not in pain anymore. I'm gonna let you guys in on all the details. Like I might be a little bit too TMI, but hopefully it's just girls watching. I think at 7, I think I was like 7 weeks and we tried to, but like I couldn't, you guys. Like I could not handle it. Like I don't know how a human came out of there because I could not handle it. Like we didn't like get very far, if you know what I'm saying. Like we barely like tried to like a little bit and like I couldn't, how do I say this without saying this? I couldn't take it. Like it didn't go in, basically is what I'm trying to tell you guys, is it did not go in. It barely touched me a little bit and it kind of hurt me. So we decided to wait a little bit longer, and I think around like barely this week is when we're starting to do stuff. Like a little TMI, but I'm just trying to be real with you guys. Really this week is when we're starting to do stuff, or like when we started to do stuff and it doesn't hurt anymore. That's why I feel like I'm like slowly getting back to normal, you know, like it doesn't hurt anymore to you know what. And the first time that we tried to do it, like it honestly like hurt me. Like it felt like something was ripping. And how do I explain this without like literally telling you guys everything? Like, and then also the first time that we actually did do it, felt like it did hurt me a little bit. It didn't hurt me like once we were already doing it, but like for it to go in, felt like I was kind of ripping a little bit. So just take it slow, girl. Like take it slow, don't go too crazy the first time. And honestly, if you're too scared, just wait a little bit longer. Like as long as you feel comfortable with it, like they can wait. Trust me, they can wait. I'm gonna go and take a little bit of a longer shower, and trust me, they'll be fine. They can wait. Scariest part of giving birth. So I think the scariest part of giving birth for me was like the actual pushing. Like my biggest fear, obviously aside from like anything being wrong with my baby and something going wrong, was having to push without the epidural. That was like my biggest fear. Like contractions and everything, like I feel like I could have handled them without the epidural. Like they were obviously painful, but like the actual pushing her out without an epidural, like that terrified me so bad because I knew it was gonna hurt so bad. But the scariest part aside from that, I think, was just, honestly, you guys, I feel like there was no scariest part. Like it was all just scary. Like as a first time mom, like my first, like your first time doing it, like you don't know what to really expect. Like you know that something's gonna come out of there, but like I just couldn't I just didn't understand. Like, I know my body is meant for that, but I'm just like, dude, like that's a tiny little hole for a big human. Like it was terrifying, and just like so many emotions that go through your head, like during labor. Like, oh my god, like I can't believe I'm about to meet my daughter. Like I can't believe I'm about to have a daughter. I can't believe I'm about to have a baby. Like I think I was having anxiety at that point. I was just scared. Like I remember, like I just kept saying, I'm scared. Like it was just like so crazy. But I don't know like if there was a scary, like anything that was scarier. Like it was all just a little bit terrifying. How many centimeters were you dilated when you got the epidural? I was 7 centimeters when I finally got my epidural, and before that, honestly guys, like I was planning to vlog, but before that, like I was just not having it. Like I was just in so much pain, like I didn't even care to pick up the camera. But after they came in and gave me that epidural, you guys, it was smooth sailing after that. Like I could have popped out 5 more babies after I had my epidural. Must-haves for you and baby's first days. I think for baby, my must-haves are like those little undershirts, those white undershirts, like little button-up ones that have the built-in mittens. Anything with like built-in mittens. Also the onesies that have like the double zipper, that have the zipper at the at the top and at the bottom, are also game changers for diaper changes. Also the little Halo Baby swaddles, like the Velcro swaddles we really liked in the beginning. The Muslim swaddles we really loved. Honestly, I feel like you don't need a lot, especially when you go to the hospital. Like I definitely overpacked, but for the baby you don't really need anything, like just little, I guess, like outfits if you want to take pictures in. We also really loved the like knotted gowns, literally tie at the bottom, and then whenever you want to change your diaper, you literally just untie it and then just put it, like just put their little gown up. But also for the most part at the hospital, the nurses always tell you to get the babies undressed when you're going to breastfeed them, so anything that you can just kind of slip on and off really easily is really helpful. And for me, the stuff that I found super helpful were the little like witch hazel pads, the little Perry bottle, and then I had like a nightgown that I took that I also really liked because it was easy access for breastfeeding. Just any comfortable slippers and comfortable socks. I can't really think of anything that I really used a lot. Like you're not really using a lot of stuff in the beginning. Just honestly comfortable clothes, anything that you can kind of slip on and off really easily. And if you are breastfeeding, something that's easy access. You do the cuarentena, like not going out for the 40 days / being covered. Okay, so about this, I always thought the cuarentena was just kind of taking it easy and like kind of taking care of yourself a little extra during those 40 days. I had never heard of not leaving your house for 40 days, of being covered, not walking by the fridge, not going near the stove or the microwave. Like I was not, like I didn't get the memo. Like I'm kind of salty with my mom and my suegra for not telling me this stuff. Like they didn't tell me that I couldn't leave my house for 40 days. They didn't tell me all this stuff. Like the only other thing I knew like was obviously to like use your faja and stuff, but that's the only thing I knew. Like I didn't get the memo, you guys. Kind of salty with them. I did take care of myself as far as like trying to wear my fajas as much as I could, not lifting anything heavy and stuff, but I did not know that I had to keep my chest covered and like cover myself up, cover my body up. Like I was wearing freaking little shorts and stuff and like little tank tops and stuff. Like I did not know all of this stuff. Like why did my suegra and my mom not tell me this? Low-key salty at them. Like they have their opinions on other stuff cuando no se les pregunta, pero cuando se necesita, they don't even freaking opinar. You follow a diet to boost your milk supply / what has your diet been like? Okay, so honestly, right when I gave birth, like I honestly was eating whatever I wanted. Like I had, like for my full pregnancy, you guys, like a whole 9 months. You guys were also asking if my appetite is back. My whole pregnancy, I also got that question a lot, is if my appetite was back. Guys, I had my appetite my whole pregnancy. I was just so freaking sick. I could not eat. So right after I gave birth, like dude, I was not watching myself. I was honestly eating a lot of like the things I like was craving my whole pregnancy and could not eat. Like before I got pregnant, like I was obsessed with birria tacos, and right after I gave birth, my sister-in-law made me some birria tacos. Better believe I ate them and I was super happy. On my pregnancy, I also was not able to have like soda or anything. I had some soda, like I was able to have Dr. Pepper, and I had that like during the end of my pregnancy, but like for my whole pregnancy, I didn't really have a lot of soda or anything. Like for some reason, it just tasted like bleach to me. So right after I gave birth, I also was drinking quite a lot of Coke and stuff, which I know you're not supposed to be drinking that stuff, but I didn't freaking know. And honestly, I cut that off. Like I started watching more like videos on postpartum and stuff and like cuarentena and stuff, and then that's when I stopped drinking the soda. Like I stopped drinking soda altogether. I rarely ever drink soda now because I do notice, or I was noticing, especially in the beginning when I was drinking soda and stuff, I was getting bloated. So I stopped drinking that. The only like drink I would like drink besides water was Gatorade, which I feel like the Gatorades are what really have been helping my milk supply. Answering your guys' other question is, what has your diet been like? honestly, my diet has not been amazing. Now I'm getting to the point where I'm starting to like watch my portions more, and I'm like trying not to eat as many greasy stuff all the time, but I'm definitely not like on a diet. Like I'm gonna, trust me, after like not being able to eat like what I wanted for so many months, like it was honestly, it sounds so stupid, but it was honestly so like mentally draining. It was like one of the like hardest parts of my pregnancy was at least like dude, like I could be depressed, I could be going through it, but like not being able to eat what you want is honestly so freaking mentally draining. Like I don't think I'm ever gonna deprive myself from having like something I want. Like if I want a slice of pizza, I'm having my freaking slice of pizza. I'm just not gonna have like 4 slices, you know. But I'm not really on a specific diet. I'm eating kind of what I want, and honestly a lot of times I forget to eat, or I don't have time to eat. So honestly right now I'm just trying to eat what I can, because some days it's hard to like be able to sit down and have a hot meal, you know, like with a newborn, like it's a little bit difficult. But I don't really have like a specific crazy strict diet as of right now. I did just order some workout like stuff on Amazon, so I can try and start doing home workouts, because I do really want to start going to the gym, but it's just not really realistic for me to leave my baby every single day. Like my mom is really close, and my mom will come and watch her, like happily she'll come and watch her, but honestly I don't want to leave her every single day. Like I can go out like every now and then, but like I just don't feel like it's a realistic thing for me to leave to the gym for a couple hours every single day. So I just got like some weights on Amazon from this other influencer that I follow. She like does fitness stuff, so I saw like the stuff that she recommended, and I got some weights that she recommended, like a little yoga mat. I got some resistant bands and stuff, so I'm gonna start like hopefully trying to work out a little bit at home. And then once again I am starting to watch a little bit more what I eat, or just like my portions and stuff. I'm trying to drink as much water as I can. I mainly only drink either water or Gatorades. I don't really drink soda. Also answering your guys' question on if I'm doing anything to help my milk supply is, because my diet is not really amazing, and a lot of days I'm honestly not eating as much as I probably should. I'm surprised I even still have a milk supply, you guys. But from the beginning, like I feel like I had a really good, like I'm super grateful that I had a really good milk supply. Like another question I got was, when did I get my milk, or when did my milk start to come in? And my milk started to come in, like I already had milk, you guys, when I was like 17 weeks. When I was 17 weeks pregnant, like I could squeeze my boob and milk would already start to come out. Not like so much like milk, but like I had like liquid coming out of my boobs. And then towards the end of my pregnancy, like it was like legit milk. And then from the beginning, when I had just given birth, like I had a lot of milk, which I'm super thankful for. Drinking a lot of Gatorades, which I feel like were really helping my supply. What else do I think I'm doing? I'm also taking these like pills, like, or like supplements that help you produce more milk as well. I will insert like pictures of them on the screen, but I didn't mention those on Instagram, and I will also link those below for you guys if you guys are interested. The ones that I'm taking right now, I'm taking these ones called like sunflower something. I take those, and then I take these other ones that are in like a blue bottle. They come in like a bundle. You can get them at Target. They come in a bundle, and you try each of those out at least for 1 week, and you see which ones work for you. Because the ones that I had posted, there had also been a couple of you guys that DM me that those didn't work for you, but they come in a bundle, and you try each of them out, and you see which ones work for you. But those 2 are the ones that have been working for me, the ones that I have right here, and I will also link them below. Like I said, also did just start taking that Ritual protein, and I feel like that has also been helping with my milk supply a little bit. I've only been taking it for about a week, so I can't really like fully tell you guys if that's like been 100% helping or not. But I've also been using that protein as like a meal replacement, because like I said, sometimes I don't have time to eat, so sometimes I'll just make my little protein shake and then call it a day. Do you look at yourself any different now? I feel like I do look at myself different now. Like I just feel like stronger, you know. Like I just can't believe I had a baby. I can't believe, like, for the longest I also didn't know if I would have any kids, because I honestly am a little bitch. Like I didn't think like I would be able like to go through labor. I didn't know if I was strong enough to go through labor. That's another thing that was scary for me, like during labor, is like I honestly barely gained any weight during my pregnancy, not because I didn't want to gain weight, or not because I would restrict myself, but because I was honestly so sick. So I was terrified that like maybe I wasn't going to be strong enough to push her out, or like that something would just go wrong, because like I was super weak. Like I just felt really weak, you know. I do definitely feel like I'm stronger, because I just can't believe I like literally like had a human. Like I literally pushed her out. Like I carried her in my like body like for 9 whole months, and I pushed her out. Like she's like, I literally brought life life into this world, you know. Did you have a vaginal birth? I'm considering having a C-section. I'm not sure if I can do it. I'm 33 weeks. Girl, you can do this. You got this. Like I said before, like I was terrified. Like I didn't even know if I would have any kids because I didn't know if like I would like be strong enough to go through like a labor or like even go through a pregnancy at all. But you can do this, girl. Like honestly, I personally feel like a C-section would be harder. Like I did not want to have a C-section whatsoever because like your body is literally designed for you to push a baby out. Like that is what like our bodies are made for, you know. Like a C-section, that's not like the natural way that like that we're supposed to have our babies. Like, and I'm not like bashing C-section moms at all. I honestly feel like C-section moms probably have it worse than like having a vaginal delivery because like your body was not meant for you to have your baby like that. So, and they're actually cutting you and stuff. So I feel like having a C-section would probably be worse than having a vaginal birth. But I can see why it's scary. But you got this, girl. Like your body was literally made for this. Like you can do this. Did you get any stretch marks? If so, how did you deal with them? Yes, I did get stretch marks. You guys can't see them on my stomach. I didn't really get any on my stomach like whatsoever. So I'm super grateful for that. I got them all over my butt though. When I say all over, you guys, I mean like all over, like both cheeks, like a bunch of stretch marks. And they're like the pink like stretch marks. They're not like the cute like stretch marks that are super light and you can't tell, like you can tell that they're there. Like I always had a little bit of stretch marks on my butt before even getting pregnant, but they were like the super light ones. Like you couldn't even really tell that they were there. After getting pregnant, and I got my stretch marks early on. I think I was like 14 weeks when I had gotten my stretch marks, like 14 or 17 weeks or something like that. I lost like almost 20 pounds like right off the bat getting pregnant because I was so freaking sick, you guys. I lost like 17 or 18 pounds and I had just gotten my BBL. So most of my fat was literally on my butt, not really on my stomach or any other areas of my body. So right when I lost all the weight, I lost it mainly all from my butt. And because I lost like a lot of weight like drastically like that, I feel like that's why I got stretch marks. Not necessarily because of the pregnancy. I feel like I got stretch marks because I lost weight, but I definitely did get stretch marks. I have them all over both of my butt cheeks, so I'm never showing my butt again. I'm like, I hate my butt now. Like I know that like you should love your body and love your stretch marks, but honestly I don't think I'm gonna be one of those moms that thinks my stretch marks are beautiful. Like I don't know if that makes me a bad mom or like what, but like you know, like we all have insecurities and I definitely am a little bit insecure in my butt now. I was already a little bit insecure of the stretch marks that I had before. Like I just didn't really mind them so much, but I didn't love my stretch marks, you know. I also did get stretch marks. Really weird because I didn't get them until like after I gave birth. After I gave birth, I got some stretch marks like on the inner parts, kind of like the inner parts of my thighs. I will also insert pictures of those. And then on one side of my like kind of like my hip area, side of my stomach, I did get a couple stretch marks as well, that I will insert pictures of as well. But it was really weird because I didn't get those stretch marks until after I had already given birth. I did have a couple like on the inner parts of my thighs like before I had given birth, but most of my stretch marks I got them after I gave birth. The way that I deal with them is, like I said, I don't think I'm ever gonna be one of those that thinks my stretch marks are beautiful. Like I'm not bashing anybody else, but those are just my feelings and my feelings are valid. Like that's how I feel about them. I'm sorry. Like that's just how I feel about them. But the way that I deal about them is honestly, they don't bother me so much. I don't love them, like I said, but it is what it is. I can't change anything about it. I also did get a question on how I prevented stretch marks. I used as much bio oil as I possibly could. I used as much lotion as I possibly could. I tried to moisturize my skin as much as I possibly could. But a lot of stretch marks are genetics, you guys. Like a lot of the times, like your stretch marks that you get are because of genetics. Like you can do as much as you can to try and prevent the stretch marks, and I feel like it probably does help a little bit to like stay moisturized, but at the end of the day sometimes you just get stretch marks. Like I said, most of my stretch marks I didn't get until after I had given like birth. So that's one thing that did shock me about postpartum, is I didn't know that you would still get stretch marks after already having your baby. Was it difficult to adjust to your new body after birth? So it hasn't been like difficult to adjust to my new body after birth. Like My body definitely does look different. Like, I know a lot of people think like I just snap back like this and my body looks the same. My body does not look the same, you guys. Like, you guys do not see me naked. Like, obviously for my Instagram pictures, like, you're gonna get the best, like, I get the best angles I possibly can. I'm posing, like, you know, like, I just know my angles, but my body definitely does look different. I also feel like I'm dealing with it like well, like it hasn't been that difficult to adjust to my new body because I knew my body was gonna look different. Like, obviously I just had a baby, you know, like I knew my body was gonna look different. I definitely expected to look a lot worse. So honestly, I'm happy with my body. I'm happy with the way I look. Like, especially for having a baby, I feel like I look good. Also, with that being said, like, don't feel bad about your body if you like think that you didn't snap back as fast. Like, I promise you, my body like does not look the same as it did before I had a baby. And also keep in mind, you guys, I had a BBL. I had plastic surgery. I literally had a whole surgery before I had my baby. Like they sucked like all my fat out. So I definitely feel like my BBL really helped me to snap back. I definitely would have looked a lot worse like if I did not have my BBL. Are you down to your pre-pregnancy weight? So before I got pregnant, I weighed 139 pounds, and then at the end of my pregnancy, I got up to 150 pounds. I literally only gained 11 pounds my whole pregnancy because I was so freaking sick, and I lost like weight right off the bat. I have been weighing myself since then. On April 12th is when I had her, and on April 15th, I weighed myself for the first time, and I was 143 pounds. So right before giving birth, I weighed 150 pounds, and then 3 days later after I had her, I had gone down 7 pounds, which I think is pretty normal for you to like go down that many pounds like right after having them. And then today I weighed myself and I was 122 pounds, so I am down to my pre-pregnancy weight. I actually am 17 pounds lighter than when I was pregnant, and I definitely think that it's the breastfeeding that has been helping me lose weight. Next question is biggest change in your body since giving birth. So the biggest change in my body is definitely my stomach. Obviously that's where my baby was, so my stomach just looks a little bit different. Like, I have like more flabbiness and stuff, like it's a little bit loose, you know, but I'm still really fresh out, so I'm not really too focused on that. I'm just gonna try to kind of work out and hopefully tone that area back up because it is definitely a little bit loose in that area. How much did your post BBL body change? So as much as like I am happy with like the progress I've been making, my body definitely does look different. Like in the before I got pregnant, like obviously I had just gotten my body done, you guys. My stomach was like flat. Like my stomach was flat. It was tight, like it was snatched. And then my butt like looked really good. My butt, like I'm still happy with the way my butt looks right now, like aside from the stretch marks, but like it definitely had like a better shape, a bigger size and everything. So my body definitely did change. Was your postpartum Faja helpful? If so, when and how long did you use it for? You guys, yes, super helpful. My Faja was like a freaking life changer. As much as I do feel like the BBL definitely helped, the Faja was also a big game changer. Like, I'm gonna link down below the Faja that I was using right after I gave birth. It was literally like 30 or 40 bucks on Amazon, but you guys, it really helped me out. If you guys are about to give birth, go and get that Faja because I swear it makes the biggest difference. Like the ones that they give you at the hospital, I know you can ask for one at the hospital, but I just feel like they're not the same as these ones. So right after I gave birth, I think the next day is when I started wearing my Faja, and I would wear my Faja pretty much all day and all night. Sometimes I would take it off at night to give my body a little rest, but I was pretty much wearing it all the time because I promise you guys it made the biggest difference. Like I would notice the biggest difference whenever I'd wear it. Like my stomach was super flat after wearing it. But what messed me up big time, you guys, is honestly I kind of started slacking on my postpartum care a little bit after I had my gallbladder removed. So not even a month after giving birth, you guys, I had to get my gallbladder removed, so I had to get surgery for that. And right after surgery I was not able to wear my Fajas, so I kind of stopped wearing it for like over 2 weeks because I was not able to wear it like over my scars. Like it was painful, you know. So I kind of started lagging on my postpartum care a little bit after that, but I'm finally starting to wear my Faja again, and I just ordered a brand new Faja, so I will keep you guys updated on if I like that one or not. It's like pretty similar to the ones that I used after my surgery. It's just not a full body one. The full body ones are good and everything, but they're just too uncomfortable, and like you can't really wear that one all day, especially if you're going out. Like you can't wear that one. This one I feel like I could totally just wear it underneath a shirt and like I could wear it all day. So I'll insert a picture of the one that I just ordered, but I'm barely gonna get it in, so I don't know if I'm gonna like it or not. Can you show us your belly now? Yes, I will definitely show you guys my belly now. I'm gonna start to insert little videos. So this picture picture right here is the night that I had given birth. I had my baby at 5:08 in the morning, and this picture I took it at 9:05 p.m. that day. So this is what I looked like pretty much immediately after having my baby. I still had a belly. I still looked like I was like 4 or 5 months pregnant there. So that is what I looked like pretty much immediately after having my baby. And these pictures right here, I took them the night that we had gotten home. I took these on April 13th at 10 o'clock p.m. And I had not worn my faja yet, but my stomach did start to kind of go down a little bit. I actually started wearing my fajas on April 15th, third day after giving birth. That's when I started to wear my faja. And then this video right here, I took it at 1 week postpartum, and that is what my body was looking like at that point. And I remember I was so proud that my stomach was going down, and that faja, I'm telling you guys, was working wonders. Like, Daniel took this picture of me when I was holding Sophia, and I remember I was just like so proud that my stomach was going down. At that point, I was down to 134 pounds. This video right here, I took it at 2 weeks postpartum. And this is when I felt like my body was kind of starting to like look a little bit more normal. At that point, I was at 128 pounds. So the breastfeeding was definitely helping me out a lot. I'm gonna keep inserting photos of like my body and like little videos and stuff. And I'll put like the dates and stuff of when I took those. On April 29th, I took another picture of my body, and then that is what I was looking like. So I was trying my best to wear my fajas, you guys, and take as much care of myself as I possibly could. And then I had to get my freaking gallbladder removed. So after that, I feel like I kind of fell off a little bit. And then I was super like inflada after getting surgery, because they literally blow you up with air so that they can remove the stones. I'll insert like pictures of like my scars after surgery. But after that, I kind of fell off a little bit. I wasn't able to wear my fajas for a little while, so I just took it easy after that. On May 26th, I took these pictures right here, and as you can see, since I stopped wearing my faja so much, I honestly feel like I noticed the biggest difference. Like, my stomach was not looking as flat anymore. So I am trying to go back to the faja life and try to keep up with my body. Like I said, I did order some gym stuff, and I do want to start to try to work out at home a little bit. I'm drinking those protein shakes. On May 27th, I was down to 123 pounds. So I was still losing weight. I just wasn't like wearing my faja as much anymore, because like I said, I had my scars. Camera died, so I don't know where I was at, but basically I will insert a picture of what I looked like right after I gave birth and what I look like now. Next question is, it seems like you were really mentally prepared for postpartum. How did you prepare? Mentally, I don't feel like I was super mentally prepared. I was like physically prepared. Like, I had my like stuff ready, and the way I basically prepared was I watched like YouTube videos as well on other mommies that showed like stuff that helped them after birth, and what to pack in like your hospital bag and all that good stuff. Mentally, I don't know if I was super prepared. Are you going through postpartum depression / did you enter a form of depression? So I've always like kind of struggled with depression like for a long time. I just don't really talk about it anymore. I used to talk about it a little bit on my channel, but I just kind of stopped talking about it. I don't really like to talk about it that much anymore. Like, I just kind of like to keep my feelings to myself, you know? I don't know if I'm going through postpartum depression. I feel like I did enter a form of depression, or I feel like I did it, like I've been kind of in a funk, but I feel like I've been in a funk for a long time. Like, I feel like my whole pregnancy I was kind of depressed, to be honest. Like, my entire pregnancy, I feel like I was just like, I just felt lonely and like just going through like other personal stuff, you know. And then now, since having my baby, I feel like I don't necessarily feel like I'm going through postpartum depression. I just still feel like I'm in a funk. Like my whole pregnancy, it almost feels like ever since I got pregnant, it almost feels like I've been living in like a different like dimension or something. Like everything just feels weird. Like, I just feel weird. I just feel off, you know. But I'm just taking it day by day. Definitely that like first week, or like those first couple weeks after coming home, I feel like we're extra hard, and like I've been kind of going through it. But I feel like now I'm slowly starting to feel a little bit like myself. I feel like I am kind of still depressed, but I feel like I've been depressed for a pretty long time. Not necessarily just because of like pregnancy and stuff, but just other stuff in my life. Just taking it day by day, and now I have like my little purpose, you know. Like, Sophia is literally my purpose to keep like going. Like I literally have to take care of her, like she depends on me, and she's just like my little angel, you know? How is breastfeeding going for you? Any tips for first-time moms? So I don't know if I necessarily have like tips for you guys, because I am also a first-time mom, but just the other things I mentioned, like I'm taking those pills that are helping me produce milk. I'm just pumping as often as I can, feeding her, like latching her on as often as I can. I will say honestly, I don't pump as often as I probably should, but I have been trying to pump more often lately because I am trying to build like a freezer stash. Does it hurt when you're breastfeeding her? I'm scared for that. So it didn't hurt, especially at first. Now I'm getting to the stage where I feel like maybe her jaws are getting stronger and my nipples are super sore and super like tender. Like anything that like touches my nipples, even just like my bra, like kind of does hurt me a little bit, but I've just been using as much nipple cream and nipple balm as I can. Are you planning, so I have a lot of like breastfeeding questions. Are you planning to breastfeed long term? Yes. I don't know like how long I actually will breastfeed. My goal is to just keep breastfeeding. I don't know. I probably will stop breastfeeding when I start her on solids, like when I start giving her actual food. But I am just breastfeeding. I'm not doing formula or anything. I am trying to also keep getting her used to bottles. I don't want her to completely get used to just my boob, because that's just gonna be really difficult if I ever try to go out, or you know, like I just want to be able to do the bottles as well, so that way Daniel can help, or if I ever want my mom to watch her, that way she can take the bottle without having to struggle or anything, you know? Do you give your baby formula, and what are your thoughts on formula? So I don't really care like what you do with your baby. Like do whatever works for you. Like I don't really think it makes you like less of a mom, or it makes you a bad mom if you give your baby formula. Whatever works for you, whatever keeps you sane and whatever keeps your baby happy. I honestly think fed is best. As long as your baby is fed. I will say I do think that there's more benefits to doing breast milk, but I don't think it makes you a bad mom if you couldn't breastfeed. There's a lot of moms who can't breastfeed, and honestly at the end of the day, even if you just don't want to breastfeed, that's your own thing. Like it's your baby, your body, your life. It's not my baby. As far on thoughts on formula, I don't really have any negative thoughts on formula. It's whatever just works best for you. After I got my gallbladder removed, we did give her formula those like few days. So if you guys have seen any of the vlogs, there is like some like little cans of formula, but she only used them for those few days, and then we went back to breast milk. Another question I got is, do you breastfeed only? A lot of you guys are curious as to if I'm only latching her on or if I'm doing bottles. I think that's what you guys are getting at, but I am pretty much for the most part just giving her my boob, but I do try to give her the occasional bottle here and there so she doesn't get used to just my boob, because I feel like for a little while we weren't giving her any bottles, we were just doing my boob, and I feel like she started to get used to just my boob, because you would give her the bottle and she would kind of start to gag a little bit, or she would be like she knows it wasn't my boob, you know? So I am starting to like give her bottles here and there as well, because I don't want her to like completely get used to just my boob. Because then also, how am I even ever supposed to use my freezer stash if she gets used to just my boob, you know? And I don't know what I'm even like building a freezer stash for. I'm just building it there in case I ever need it. I feel like once I got my gallbladder removed, it kind of showed me that like things could happen in the blink of an eye. Like during that time, I was giving her a little bit of formula because I ran out of the freezer stash I thought I had. Like she just went through it really quickly. So I'm just building a freezer stash in case I ever need it. And if she doesn't use it, I'm pretty sure that you can donate the milk. I think either way, it's not gonna hurt me to build a freezer stash. So I just want to stock up on as much milk as I can. Do you miss being only you and Daniel? I don't miss being only me and Daniel, but I will say I miss like being able to just go out wherever we wanted to. Like now, even just to go eat, like I remember we would go out to eat a lot, but now like even just to go out to eat, like we don't really go out to eat anymore because it's just a hassle to go out with a baby. I think that's the only part I like, if I'm being honest, I miss. Like I don't think it makes me a bad mom missing that, but I think that's the only part I miss, is like just being able to leave the house, you know, whenever you wanted to. But now it's like a hassle to leave, that sometimes like you would rather just stay inside and not go anywhere because it's just too much. Does your man help? Yes, he does. Obviously, I think as a woman, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna pretend like everything is perfect. Like it is obviously not. As a woman, and obviously like breastfeeding and stuff, it's very demanding. Like obviously, like you usually end up doing more than the guys do, but I think all that matters is that they're trying, you know, because Daniel honestly does help a lot. Like today, I had to do this video and I had to do another video, and pretty much all day he was taking care of her. And like right now, it is currently 1:23 in the morning. I'm sacrificing my sleep for you guys because my baby she was sleeping for almost 4 hours that I could have been asleep, but I decided to film and do some other stuff, you know. So right now she's awake and Daniel is with her giving her a bottle. But he does help, and I think all that matters is that they're trying. Do you miss your belly? I never thought I would say this, but I actually do miss my belly. I feel like I got so used to having my little belly. Like I just got so used to the way my body looked with my belly, that now I just feel like I look kind of weird. Like I'm starting to feel more normal now, but especially in the beginning, it was so weird, like not having my belly anymore. And I never thought I would miss my belly, but I actually do miss my belly. I miss my little bump. How is hair loss? What are you using for hair loss? So I'm not using anything specifically for hair loss. I haven't lost too much hair, but I have been noticing like my hair is like thinning more at the top. Like it was already pretty thin at the top, but I feel like, as you guys can see, like right there, like I feel like I'm low-key going a little bit bald, like right there as well. There's like a big spot. I feel like the only thing I'm doing like for hair loss, I guess, is I'm still taking my prenatals, or I'm taking postnatal vitamins now. So I think that those might be helping a little bit, but I still am losing a little bit of hair, and I heard that at 3 months postpartum you lose a lot of hair, so not looking forward to that. Hopefully it's not too bad. What breast pump do you use? So I use the Medela pump. I will insert a picture right here, or I will leave a link down below. And then I also use the LV pumps. I have like such a love-hate relationship with those pumps. Like I literally want to throw them out the wall sometimes because they're so expensive, and honestly I don't like them too much. But those are the two pumps that I have been using. Definitely, if you're looking into the LVs, if you feel like, unless you really need it, honestly, you're fine with the other pump. You do not need to spend $500 on the LVs. What do you do when you have rough mommy days? I just cry. I don't cry all the time, and honestly, I haven't had too many like rough days like this week. So this week has been pretty good. Have your mood swings changed since you gave birth till this day? Yes. I think right after I gave birth, I was super moody. Like everyone was just annoying me. Like everyone and everything just annoyed me. Like during the end of my pregnancy, everyone just annoyed me. And then right after I gave birth, everyone was also super annoying to me. But I feel like I'm at the point where no one is annoying me. Everyone, like everything is kind of going back to normal. So I feel like my mood swings are kind of like going away. How was your mental state your first week being home? So the first week being home, I feel like it was so bittersweet. It was like awesome because I had my little baby there, and like honestly, like Daniel was helping out a lot, and he still is helping out, but that week he was helping out a lot. Like we were both kind of just tag teaming it. We would both get up like that whole like week. We both kind of just felt like zombies, but it was so bittersweet because I was so freaking emotional that week. The last 2 weeks before I gave birth, I was also super emotional. Like I would just touch my belly and I would literally start crying, you guys. Like I would be in her nursery, like in the rocking chair, like reading a book to her, like my belly, and like I would literally just start crying. Like the second I would touch my belly and just think about how, oh my god, she's gonna be here anytime, or oh my gosh, I can't believe she's in there, I would start crying. And I think that first week, like being home too, like I was just super emotional. Like everything like would make me cry. Just like I would like look at her, like I would be breastfeeding her, I would be like carrying her, like rocking her to sleep, and I would look at her and I would just be crying. And like there was a couple times where like I feel like I was kind of going through it, and like there was one time in specific that I remember that, oh my god, like I feel like I'm never gonna forget. But I was having a really rough day and I was just holding her and I was literally just crying, and I just felt so bad because I was looking at my baby and I was like, oh my god, like I felt like a bad mom for being sad, which is really weird. I don't know why I would feel like that, but that's kind of what I felt like. Crazy because I was literally crying tears and I was staring at her, and I remember she just like busted out a little laugh. It was like really tiny. I think it was like in between those like couple weeks, but like I remember I was looking at her and she just goes ah, and like she like smiled, and I thought it was the cutest thing ever because it was almost like she's telling me like, mom, it's okay, like you're okay. That first week like was definitely bittersweet. Like those first couple weeks were like super bittersweet because they were like so happy but like yet so sad at the same time. Do you breastfeed in public or give your baby a bottle? In the beginning I was giving her a bottle when we would go out in public, but now honestly I'm at the point where I don't care. I'll whip out my boob anywhere. Like if my baby's hungry, my baby's hungry. Any itching during breastfeeding? breastfeeding. Yes, I don't know if it's like when the milk gets on me, like I'll literally have to clean my boobs after, because if not, my boobs get super crazy itchy. Not all the time, but I have noticed I will get some itching here and there. Rate 1 to 10, how was birth? So 1 to 10, I would say honestly birth was not so horrible. It's kind of just the after, like when you're bleeding and in pain and stuff, that's when it's like pretty horrible. So from a 1 to 10, I would have to rate the contractions like a 10 when they're hitting you, and then the actual birth, I had an epidural, so honestly it didn't really hurt. Like it was just like I was having anxiety and I was scared, but pain wise I wasn't really having any pain. Do you freeze your pads, or what were you wearing? So right after I gave birth, I was using these like little witch hazel pads. I was using my peri bottle, and then I was using like just pretty much humongous pads. I did have the little padsicles from Frida, and they're just like literally like basically ice packs for down there, but they're super bulky that I didn't really end up using them. So I didn't use frozen pads, but I have heard a lot of good things about them. Did breastfeeding hurt initially? How did you get a good latch? So the nurses at the hospital were honestly super helpful. She did latch right away, which I'm super thankful for, and it didn't hurt me like at the beginning. I feel like now, like I'm at the point where my nipples are now starting to hurt. I don't know if her jaws are just getting stronger or what it is, but now I'm at the point where it is starting to hurt me a little bit. I have heard of some moms using like nipple shields and stuff. I do have some, I just haven't tried them. As of right now, I'm just kind of trying to use as much nipple cream as I can, but for sure my nipples are super sensitive right now. Did you ever just cry when you first brought your baby home? Yes. I don't know why, like you're just so emotional, like your emotions are just literally everywhere. I'm telling you guys, like those last couple weeks of pregnancy, I would literally just touch my belly and I would cry, and then after we brought her home I would literally just look at her and I would also just cry. Would you get your boobs done because of the change after breastfeeding? Yes, I definitely would. I've always, even before I was pregnant, I always like didn't love my boobs. I know my boobs look fine, but it's because I have a bra on, you guys. Like I have a bra on. There's a lot of shirts even before I was pregnant, or like dresses and stuff that I always wanted to wear, but things without a bra I could not wear. My boobs sag, like they have a natural sag, and already like I've barely been breastfeeding for 2 months and I can already tell my boobs are getting a little bit worse. So by the time I'm done breastfeeding, I already know my boobs are gonna be like super low. So I do want to get them done after I'm done breastfeeding. I'm not sure if I will, because I'm terrified of having like an implant in my body. But like I said, even before I got pregnant, I already wasn't super happy with my boobs. I just had not gotten them done because like I said, I'm terrified of having an implant. But we will see after I'm done breastfeeding how my boobs look. But I will definitely let you guys know if I end up getting them done. You guys will know, trust me. Then the last question that I'm going to ask, you guys asked a lot of questions. This video is probably going to be super long, is would you get another BBL? So I don't think I would get I don't really know how to answer this question. I think I would get another BBL, but I think I'm not going to. So I guess I wouldn't get another BBL. I think I'm at the point where like I'm happy with the way my body looks. I think I can work it out to get to the point that I want to be at. Like I did like my butt super big. Like I loved when my butt was super big, and I feel like I'm getting really skinny that I'm not really liking my body as much anymore. But I'm not at the point where I think I would go and get my body redone. Like I think I'm fine. Like I don't really feel like I need it at this moment. I feel like I would probably just get my boobs done instead of getting a whole ass BBL again, because I feel like if I start working out on my stomach and eating a little bit cleaner and keep up with my fajas more, good waist trainer and stuff, I definitely feel like I can get my stomach to look good again. I also don't want any more kids, especially at the moment. I think we're fine with Sophia. We're happy with Sophia. But then I think about it, I'm just like, well, what if we do have one more baby? I definitely don't want to get another BBL. Like I want to make sure I'm done like 100% with kids forever. Like the next time I get another BBL, like I need to have my tubes tied is basically what I'm saying. That's pretty much all for today's video, you guys. Those are pretty much all of the questions that you guys sent in. If I did miss any of your guys' questions, go ahead and leave them in the comments down below and I will make sure to get back to you guys. If you guys want to go ahead and check out Ritual and try out their new protein or get any of their other products, I've been using their vitamins for a super long time. Don't forget, you guys are going to be getting 10% off of your first 3 months. All you have to do is go to ritual.com/Lizeth Ramirez and use my code Lizeth Ramirez at checkout. I will leave a link for you guys down down below for you guys to check that out. Please go ahead and give this video a huge thumbs up. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button down below if you guys are new and don't want to miss any more videos. And I love you all so much, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye guys.